Hey everyone! Welcome back to Mind Behind You. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of us avoid thinking about: emotional weakness. We all have moments of vulnerability, but some patterns in our behavior can indicate that we might be emotionally weaker than we realize. Now, before you feel discouraged, remember this is not about shaming anyone. Awareness is the first step toward improvement. In this video, we're going to explore every major sign of emotional weakness, explain why it matters, and how it shows up in daily life. Recognizing these signs in yourself isn't easy, but it's necessary if you want to grow stronger emotionally. So grab a notebook, pay attention, and let's get started. Overthinking is one of the most common signs of emotional weakness. It happens when your mind constantly replays scenarios, analyzes every tiny detail, and imagines the worst-case outcome for every situation. For example, you might spend hours replaying a conversation with a friend, wondering if you said something wrong, or worrying about how people perceive you. Why is this a sign of emotional weakness? Because emotionally strong people make decisions confidently, learn from mistakes, and move forward. They don't let small uncertainties control their life. The emotional impact of overthinking includes stress, anxiety, indecision, and even loss of sleep. It can affect your relationships, work, and mental peace. Overthinking often leads to self-doubt, constantly questioning your choices, fearing judgment, and feeling paralyzed. Real-life example: imagine you send a text to someone important, and they don't reply immediately. Overthinkers might assume the worst. Did I say something wrong? Do they not like me anymore? Strong individuals, however, understand delays happen, and they don't let small gaps in communication ruin their mental peace. Another sign is replaying mistakes endlessly. You may focus on what went wrong yesterday or last week, instead of learning and moving on. Strong people acknowledge mistakes, take responsibility, and find solutions without overburdening their mind. Overthinking is emotionally draining. It affects your self-confidence, decision-making, and overall happiness. Recognizing this pattern is essential. Ask yourself, do I overanalyze small things unnecessarily? Am I wasting mental energy on things I cannot control? If yes, this is a clear signal of emotional weakness. Criticism is unavoidable in life, whether it comes from friends, family, or work. How you respond can reveal your emotional strength. People who are emotionally weak often take feedback personally. Even constructive criticism feels like a personal attack. For example, a manager might point out areas for improvement in your work. Instead of using it to grow, you might feel insulted, hurt, or defensive. This reaction can damage relationships, reduce opportunities for growth, and create unnecessary stress. Emotionally strong people, on the other hand, see criticism as information, not judgment. They extract value from feedback and use it to improve. They can separate their self-worth from others' opinions, which is a crucial part of emotional resilience. Weak emotional response often includes feeling resentful or angry, obsessing over what was said, seeking validation to prove yourself. Real-life examples: a social media comment that seems negative can ruin your day. A friend's advice is taken as an insult rather than help. Workplace feedback leads to anxiety instead of motivation. Recognizing this sign is the first step. Ask yourself, do I take criticism personally? Do I feel hurt every time someone points out my mistake? If yes, it's time to reflect. Emotional strength grows when you learn to handle feedback without letting it shake your inner peace. Happiness should come from within, but emotionally weak people often tie their joy to others' actions. If someone doesn't compliment you, approve of you, or spend time with you, your mood drops. This dependence is dangerous. It means you are vulnerable to external circumstances, constantly seeking validation and approval. Strong individuals, in contrast, create their own happiness. They find fulfillment in personal growth, hobbies, and self-respect, rather than relying solely on relationships or social approval. Examples: feeling anxious when a partner doesn't respond quickly, mood swings based on friends' reactions or family approval, comparing your life constantly to others' achievements. Emotional impact includes stress, insecurity, and a fragile sense of self-worth. If you notice your happiness fluctuates depending on what others do, it's a sign you need to strengthen your emotional independence. Avoidance is another sign of emotional weakness. When life gets tough, do you run away from problems instead of facing them? Procrastination, fear of confrontation, and avoiding difficult conversations are common examples. Avoidance leads to stagnation. The problem doesn't disappear, it grows. Emotionally strong people face challenges head-on, take calculated risks, and learn from setbacks. Weak individuals fear discomfort, so they escape responsibilities, leading to guilt, regret, and low self-esteem. Example: ignoring work deadlines because it feels overwhelming, avoiding confrontation with a friend or colleague, leading to unresolved tension, staying in a situation you dislike because leaving feels scary. The more you avoid, the weaker you feel. Emotional growth requires facing challenges consistently, even when it's uncomfortable. Emotional control is a key sign of strength. If you get angry, sad, or frustrated easily, or react impulsively, this indicates weakness. Emotional reactions are normal, but letting them control your actions is not. Weakness shows when you explode at small annoyances, minor setbacks ruin your day, you lash out at friends or family unnecessarily,